Welcome, everyone, to the Chris Perish podcast. My name is Chris Perish. This is episode 34, and I am bringing you another solid addition to the Chris Perish podcast. But first, I got to get a little bit of housekeeping out of the way. As you see to my sides, I got Turnbuckle Studios. That's right. If you want to get a part of Turnbuckle Studios, there is a way for you to do that. It's called the Turnbuckle Affiliation Program. So make sure you are checking out Turnbuckle Studios and all of its beautiful platforms. But if you want a little bit of a more direct link, stay tuned a little bit later on as we'll give you a little bit of a, you know what? I'm not going to do that to you guys. Don't stay tuned. I'll do it right now. Go check out affiliationprogram.my.canva.site. That is affiliationprogram.my.canva.site. And you could be a part of the Turnbuckle Affiliation Program yourself. And then over on my other side, you got Rogue Energy, the proud sponsor of the show, where you can go to rogueenergy.com. You can check out all the flavors that they have, whether it's through a powder form, whether it's through an energy can. If you're like me, you want to check out that blue raspberry because that is a go-to of mine. And make sure that you're using the promo code PERISH, PERISH, because at that checkout, it saves you a little bit of money, some 10%. All right. Now, if you want to help increase that to maybe a 15, potentially even more, make sure that you're hitting a like, a subscribe, and a follow. It goes a long way. And that's just one little example of how, because if you do that, Rogue will look at me and they'll make me an affiliate. So let's help me get affiliates so I can help you save a little bit more money when you visit rogueenergy.com. Now, a little bit of news this week in pro wrestling, as we just found out not too long ago, just days ago, in fact, that Natalya is not looking for a home anymore. She has re-signed with the WWE, staying exactly where she has been for the last 17 years. Now, what does this mean? This means a lot to the women's division. Why? Because she is not only one of the best technical performers inside the ring for WWE, but she is also a wealth of knowledge when it comes down to helping people, when it comes down to helping maybe a little bit more of the inexperience, a little bit of the greener, we'll say, wrestling term wise, but yeah, just people who are just getting their starts. She is an amazing talent to put there, help that talent get some confidence in that ring, have a good match, get connected to the crowd, and you know what? That just goes such a long way. And another thing too for Natalya, she has that ability now to transition into a program if you need somebody. Also, she has that ability to kind of just go out and deliver. If you need that one person to go out and just do something and you have total faith, Natalya is that human being. She is absolutely killer in that ring. She is just a faithful human being, and make sure that you're supporting not only just a great Canadian, but an amazing pro wrestler, Natalya. And congratulations to her for staying with the WWE, because it would be a little bit weird to see her outside of it, even though I think a lot of people would have liked her to maybe win the Owen Hart Memorial tournament, which I understand. She is a huge proponent for Owen Hart. That's her uncle, of course. She loves Owen, but just something feels right about hearing the Neidhart name attached to something in honor of the Hart name. It just feels right, and I just couldn't help but hope that maybe we have one more run for Natalya. I know she might not be everyone's cup of tea, but I mean, how great would it be if she could take a photo on top of just that platform after winning a Queen of the Ring, so we can have the Queen of Nine Hearts, and we can see that one photo where you have Owen and Brett, who were King of the Ring winners, Natalya, Queen of the Ring. I think that has to happen at some point. Let me know in the thoughts, in the chat, what you guys think about Natalya resigning with the WWE. Now, that wasn't it all. No. I brushed upon the Owen Hart tournament, and we saw the winners in Bryan Danielson and Mariah May winning their respective genders Owen Hart tournaments, and a huge congratulations to them. Mariah May shocking everyone after not just winning it, but turning on timeless Toni Storm. I know a lot of people were maybe expecting it, but I don't know if they saw that coming. And let me tell you, Mariah May is just on the rocket ship right now in the AEW women's division, and it is going to be absolutely amazing to watch. And I think she is very much next in line to challenge Toni Storm, and not just challenge, but perhaps take away that AEW Women's Championship. And then for Bryan Danielson, I think this is a great opportunity for him to kind of reassess his position in the upper mid card, the main event spot in AEW, as I think now you have a built-in story for why he can go after the championships. Yes, we all know now that the winners receive a championship match, and I think Bryan Danielson going up against Swerve Strickland, or even better, maybe a Will Ospreay, or maybe even an MJF for that AEW World Title. I think before his career's done, it would be very nice to see Bryan Danielson wearing a heavyweight championship once again, and you think it's just a matter of time. Speaking of matter of time, we are seeing some absolutely amazing storyline going in pro wrestling. Whether you want to talk about the Bloodline, which has just been fantastic, but what about CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre? And what about Judgment Day? And I want to just strictly target Judgment Day right now, because on Monday night on Raw, the one named Mommy, the Eradicator, Rhea Ripley, returns to WWE after the mixed tag match of Liv and Dominic Mysterio going up against Zelina Vega and Rey Mysterio, where we saw for the first time Dominic pinning his father. That's right. They have been in the ring just a handful amount of times, but never has Dom actually beat his father inside that squared circle. And on Monday, we saw Dom pin his father. And what was absolutely amazing to see was Dom was so excited and happy that he did that. He even hugged Liv Morgan, and then he quickly realized, oh, no. Yeah, that's a faux pas. I'm not supposed to do that. That's Mommy's number one rival. But in a weird way, she's also helped me do something that I've never done before. So many conflicting emotions, so many conflicting storylines, and then all of a sudden Liv Morgan just pounces on Dom Mysterio like she was a cat praying for some attention. And then just when you thought there was going to be a moment, this is my brutality just goes, and the place goes absolutely crazy. And Rhea Ripley is a few shades on the pissed side, as earlier in the night we're seeing some amazing just teases from Damian Priest, signaling that we could be seeing something big. As Finn Balor asked, hey, I heard you got a surprise for us. What is it? And he's like, you know what? I think I'm just going to show you guys. And I know Dominic is going to see it firsthand later tonight. So a lot of teases implying that Rhea Ripley was coming back, and she did, and it was absolutely amazing. Ottawa You weren't allowed for much on Monday, but you were allowed for that, and that was the right time to do so. So good on you. But an absolute huge addition to the women's division on Monday Night Raw, as now I think we have our women's world championship match all but made official. Right, Adam Pearce, Liv Morgan challenging Rhea Ripley to go after the title that Rhea never lost, and it's gonna be a banger, like just nothing short of a banger. Carl coming in. Hey, Carl, how are you doing? Saying Rhea, meh, Liv is life. We all have our favorites, and that is absolutely acceptable here over at the Chris Perish podcast. And we all know that the man we call Carl Carafel loves a little Liv Morgan. We all know that. And if you want to see Carl just absolutely lose all those states of mind, make sure you're checking out the Raw Patrol tomorrow night on the Turnbuckle Studios YouTube and Twitch page, alongside on the Boar's Nest YouTube, as well as Five Guys with No Fries. No, I don't know if that makes sense, but it's Five Guys. We're there on a stream, surveying the wrestling scene that happens to be Monday Night Raw, as we watch 3 hours of spectacle that WWE puts on every Monday, and we get a chance to be idiots and hope to entertain and put a smile on faces. So make sure you're checking that out. Starts off at about 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern, if I believe. But we'll get to what's coming up a little bit later. But we're staying a little on topic with the Rhea Ripley and Judgment Day, and I just want to kind of touch on what Rhea Ripley's return means for the future of the Judgment Day, because where do they go now? We've seen Dom, tipping his toes in so many no-nos over the last few weeks. Now, he's never done anything wrong. You can't actually fault him for doing anything bad. It just happens to be around the one person that his mommy probably hates more than anybody right now. So, as Damian Priest said, the kid's going to have to learn a little bit of consequences for his actions. Will we see the consequences this Monday, tomorrow, on Monday Night Raw, coming live from Dayton, Ohio, but more or less coming live stream-wise, Turnbuckle Studios? We'll find out. And another one I want to find out is where now this leaves Rhea and how she feels about the progress of the Judgment Day during her absence. She has seen Carlito come in the fold now, and more or less accepted Carl coming in at work, but able to catch some of the show live today. Well, I appreciate you, brother. Definitely appreciate you. Hope work is going well, and thank you for the support. Love you. Does Rhea accept Carlito? That's going to be the big one. Is she happy with, the video games being played, whether it's from Dom, whether it's from JD, whether it's from Finn himself? Does she like the fact that Finn is allowing Liv Morgan kind of in the clubhouse? And how does she feel that they're happy that Liv helped them capture the world tag titles from Awesome Truth just a couple weeks ago? So a lot of questions to be answered, not only from Rhea's point of view on what she's back for, but what's been going on since she's been away. Now talk about a shot of life put back into this women's division. I think it's going to take shape, as SummerSlam is just less than 3 weeks away now. That's right, 3 weeks as of yesterday. So now we are on the road to the biggest party of the summer, people. So make sure that it's a BYOB. Bring your own bumps. Yeah? Okay. Because we don't know how old you are, so you might not be of legal age to, you know, do the booze. So, but maybe we're bringing something else. Maybe we're bringing hot dogs. Maybe we're bringing some hamburgers, cheeseburgers, some veggie burgers. I don't know. Whatever you're into, bring it all, because it's going to be a huge party coming live from Cleveland, Ohio. And we got a few matches already booked. We got Solo Sikoa taking on the Universal WWE Universal Champion, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. We have the King of the Ring winner, Gunther, challenging Damian Priest for that World Heavyweight Championship. Nia Jax, the first ever Queen of the Ring winner, is challenging Bayley at SummerSlam for that WWE Women's Championship. And then, looking like Rhea versus Liv. Carl is saying hashtag bring back Divas Dodgeball. Just gonna leave that one there. What else do we got? Oh yeah, we got a U.S. Championship title match that's all but made official, as it's just waiting on the signature of the champion. But Logan Paul will be defending that championship against the man with the Kavorka, with everyone saying L.A. Knight. Best. I'm already there, bro. Already there. What's made official already for tomorrow on Raw, in the Intercontinental Championship match, Sami Zayn's going to be defending that championship against Ilya Dragunov. So now I'm asking the implications of the Intercontinental Championship match at SummerSlam. Are we going to see a rematch from just a few weeks ago against Braun Breaker? Or are we going to see a multi-man match, whether it's with Ludwig Kaiser, whether it's with Ilya Dragunov, whether it's with Sheamus, Pete Dunne, who else could be holding claim, maybe even Bronson Reed? So all I know is the Intercontinental Championship will be on the line in SummerSlam. I think that would be a miss that even Carmelo Hayes can't make if it wasn't. So looking forward to seeing what happens around that Intercontinental Championship at SummerSlam. And then all of a sudden we have 3 tag team titles, whether it's the World Tag titles with Judgment Day. What are they going to be doing? Who are they going to be defending it? Does DIY defend their newly won and retained WWE Tag Team Championships? And then, of course, we got Isla Dawn, Alba Fire. Are they going to be defending those women tag team titles? So you have to think some tag team matches are going to be announced. I'm very interested to see what's there. But a couple of returns are rumored for the SummerSlam. Yeah, taking a little page out of the Hitman's book, calling it the SummerSlam. But we're seeing a lot of speculation around Roman Reigns, the tribal chief, the former Edmonton Eskimo Canadian football player himself, is setting a sight on a return to SummerSlam? ? How do people think that's going to play out? How do we feel? What do we think is going to happen there? Is he going to come looking for blood? Does he help Solo Sikoa? Does he help Cody Rhodes? Does he target the bloodline at all? Does he come back alone? Does he come back with Paul Heyman? Does he come back with Jimmy or Jey Uso? What does Roman Reigns do if he returns in Cleveland at SummerSlam? That is the $1 million question, and I am absolutely for it, because the one thing I'm loving right now is just the complete chaos and absolutely just domination from Solo Sikoa, from Jacob Fatu, from Tama Tonga Loa, the new bloodline. Absolutely amazing work. Solo is finally hitting his niche in this role as the new self-appointed tribal chief, and I think he is doing some of his best work, and I can't wait to see where this leads. And I beg the question, do we see Solo Sikoa taking the win at SummerSlam and becoming the new Universal WWE Universal Champion? I wouldn't be opposed to it. I would not be opposed to it. Now you have two stories built right in. You can add that rematch for Cody right there, or you can go straight into something with Roman Reigns over that championship. But I'm leaning towards Cody retaining, but oh boy, what the landscape would look like if Solo Sikoa walked out of Cleveland, new Universal Champion. Thoughts in the comments. That is what I would like. What do you guys think we will see at SummerSlam over the Bloodline, the modern day Bloodline, old Bloodline, Solo Sikoa, Roman Reigns? What are your guys' thoughts, predictions, hopes? Let me know, as I'm going to show you guys a little video from our sponsors, Rogue Energy. So make sure you're checking this out, and if I can entice you to get any of the flavors. Remember, this is an older video, so this is some of their older stuff. They have not only these stuff in stock, but they got new flavors, and the only way to check them out is going to rogueenergy.com. I mean, I'm sold. Now the question is, what are you getting? And thank you. If you get something using the promo code PERISH, Perish, saving yourself a little bit of money, 10%. It's not bad, but it could be greater if you help me get affiliate at Rogue Energy. And you can only do that by liking, by sharing, by following, by hitting that thumbs up, hitting that notification bell, and doing all that good stuff. It's one click of the button. It's what she said. Not that hard. So if you can do that, that'd be a great little bit of support that I'd appreciate, because I just want to do what's best for you. And what's best for you is what makes me happy, right? And hey, who doesn't like to save a little bit of money? I mean, I know I do. Yeah, adulting is not cheap, people. Boy, is it cheap. What else do we have going on in the world of pro wrestling? Rumors circulating about the Motor City Machine Guns. Alex Shelley, Chris Sabin, are they all elite? Are they getting ready to play the game? Nothing out official confirming anything, but rumors circulating that they were going to be the next tag team in All Elite Wrestling. Now it sounds like they're going to WWE. Where do we think the Motor City Machine Guns are going to land, and what do we think they're going to do? Are they going to target the Judgment Day over the tag team titles? Are they going to target DIY and challenge the WWE tag titles? Are they going to look at NXT and maybe challenge Nathan Frazier and Axiom for those NXT tag titles? I think everything is wide open if they go to choose that way, but that's if they choose that way at all. Now, we've seen Alex Shelley before in WWE. Obviously, he spent a brief stint in NXT. We know that he tagged with Kushida as the Time Splitters. So he won't be necessarily new, but it would be so cool to see Chris Sabin, Alex Shelley in WWE in any form. I'm not gonna lie. I'm okay being the homer on this one, but I mean, if they want to go to AEW, that's cool as well because the tag team division there surely needs a little bit of a boost as well. Carl coming in and saying the Motor City Machine Guns NXT would be amazing. I'd have to agree. Carl. Just bringing in that new life into that tag team division too. That's a little bit, I don't want to say underwhelming, but it's not exactly as stacked as it used to be. Now we're seeing a lot more newer tag teams, a lot more newer combinations, but I mean, we got Nathan Frazier, Axiom. We also have the Good Brothers, Gallows, Carl Anderson. But outside of that, we don't really have a lot of stable pieces there. Now, you can talk about Gallus being there, but will they stay? And then outside of that, we got Anofe and Malik Blade. I mean, that's somebody that, I wouldn't mind seeing NXT do a little bit more with. They've grown on me in terms of tag team, but they still need to put in that work to kind of get there in my eyes. Carl coming in saying that their years of experience would be a huge asset, and that's exactly what it is. But I'm also just gonna beg the question that I think should be asked too. If the Motor City Machine Guns were to sign in WWE, would they not, given their age and given those years of experience, want to do something on the main roster right away? Maybe they do. Maybe they're looking at, hey, this is our shot. This is our last chance to do that. This is what we'd like to do. And we all know Triple H doesn't really hold back on the smaller guys as, Vince did. But who's to say where they're going to end up, which brand they're going to go if they go WWE? But I think we all can agree that Motor City Machine Guns in WWE in any faucet would be amazing. To quote a little bit of someone in the chat there. But yeah, who would we want them to work with? Let's just focus in on that. If the rumors are true that they're leaning towards WWE, who do we want to see Chris Sabin and Alex Shelley go up against right away? I think that is a very intriguing question because I think a lot of people would say DIY, Ciampa, Gargano, Sabin, Shelley, take my money, right? There's that little meme. But I think a lot could be said about JD McDonough and Finn Balor as well. I think that would work out. I mean, imagine that match. Let's just kind of breathe and say, imagine that one. So yeah, and then what about even the Street Profits? Come on, Street Profits versus the Machine Guns. Who wouldn't want that one? Come on now, people. Let me know in those comments who you want to see the Motor City Machine Guns target as their first opponent if they choose to side with the WWE. And let me know who you want, what tag titles you want them to go after. Because that's interesting. You can't expect Motor City Machine Guns to sign into a company and not go after tag titles, right? Like, that would be preposterous. Just absolutely preposterous. Carl coming in saying right away on the main roster, I would say New Day. New Day is over with the fans, and it will be great to introduce them to the WWE. That way it would be a top baby face. Chris Best coming in and saying Motor City Machine Guns versus Axiom and Frazier is money too. Yeah, but no. If they were to sign, when are they going to debut? Because I would say after SummerSlam, right? You'd have to do it after SummerSlam or at SummerSlam. Whew. Imagine if we see a return, like a match between DIY and somebody. Motor City Machine Guns come out, attacks DIY, or maybe there's an open challenge of some sort. Motor City Machine Guns answer that. I don't know. I'm very intrigued by it. Very intrigued by it. I'm not disagreeing with any of these opinions by Carl or Chris Best here right now because I think they're both awesome. Because all we're doing is talking about Motor City Machine Guns in a WWE ring, and I think we can all agree. Yeah, we want it. Somebody that we got to see in a WWE ring as of last night, Stephanie Vacker. That's right. If you remember her from the one who faced off Mercedes Moné at Forbidden Door just a few weeks ago, and you're like, wait a second, that was at an AEW show, right? And yeah, you are correct. But since then, she has left CMLL. She is not going back and, in fact, signed a contract with the WWE. And in Mexico City last night competed in the ring. Let's take a second to pick our jaws back up and be like, what? How? How did this all happen? Why was this person who arguably killed it, absolutely had a performance of her lifetime at Forbidden Door against Mercedes Moné? How is she WWE and not AEW? How is she not still with, well, what happened? And let me tell you, I don't have the answer for that. I'm in just as much shock as everyone else because everything moved so quickly. Everything. It's one of those things where you got to see if she's popping down for a one-on-one with Chris Van Vliet or Busted Open Radio, like somebody. Because I think the only person to really tell you what happened is Stephanie Vacker. But all I know is what a get by WWE. This is going to absolutely just bolster the women's division, whether she goes to NXT, where you know Julia is going to be very soon. I believe she has stated that she is finishing up with the Marigold brand quicker than you think, and her time there is just about over. So not only is Julia primed to debut at the NXT brand, but is Stephanie Vacker going to be there as well? Now, we know she's done a lot of work in Mexico, so it's no surprise that she did something in Mexico City. But let me know what you guys think about this addition to the WWE, and let me know what your guys' thoughts are about her not staying kind of where she was just a few weeks ago, whether with CML or even better yet, going to AEW, which I think a lot of people expected, me being one of them. And I am just blown away that this was a talent that somehow didn't get signed at AEW. Now, a lot of people could say the same thing, but a lot of other people, how WWE can let Dijak go. Yeah, guess what? I don't. I can see it. I don't really understand it, but you know, it's business, right? But I am very intrigued by why this lady did not sign with All Elite Wrestling. Kind of more so than why she signed with WWE, because who wouldn't want to sign with WWE if they're in the pro wrestling field? They're the biggest company in the world. So that's enough reason for me to understand that decision. But yeah, I mean, absolutely stoked, absolutely excited. WWE's women's division is almost becoming undeniable as the best women's division in all of pro wrestling. It's absolutely disgusting to see so much depth to the point where they're sending Io along with AJ Styles over Pro Wrestling Noah over the weekend. Like, what? Like, that happened. We're seeing Shayna Baszler going back to Bloodsport. Like, they have so much depth that they are sharing their talent elsewhere. We're seeing that among the NXT TNA crossover. Absolutely just crazy things. And a lot of the focus is being put on the women's division. Absolutely amazing job by Triple H, Nick Khan, all those people there, because yeah, I'm going to say this. By WrestleMania next year, they're live in Las Vegas. I think WWE's women's division is a very distant number one in terms of the women's division. I don't think we are going to say there is anybody even remotely close. Not Stardom, not Marigold, not TNA, not AEW. Just, I don't know. Look at what WWE is doing, and yeah. And this is without Becky Lynch. This is without Charlotte. This is without Sasha Banks. So 3 of your 4 horsewomen aren't even in the picture right now, and they're still doing this. A lot of people wanted to say the women's division was built around the 4 horsewomen. Well, guess what? Maybe the foundation was built with those 4 horsewomen, but they have made an empire since then. So, yeah, now it's the city where everyone wants to go visit. Yeah, I can't wait to see not only what they do in terms of Julia and Stephanie Baker, but very intrigued with how they do. Are they going to do something in NXT? Are they both NXT bound? Or are we going to see Stephanie go to a SmackDown or Raw and Julia goes to NXT? If they both go to NXT, what an absolute play by WWE just to bolster that brand up and just give it 2 new stars. But yeah, I think one thing, if I was WWE and I'm looking at the Asuka injury, if she's out for a while, I would question bringing Julia up and putting her as the new face of Damage Control. Come on now. Kick Dakota out, turn her babyface. Julia is now kind of that hitman, kind of that enforcer role for the Damage Control. I would be very behind that decision. And if people say, well, what do you do with Stephanie Baker? Here's an idea. We see an eventual split between Rhea Ripley and Dominic Mysterio. Rhea's babyface. Not even a question, right? That popped in Ottawa on Monday. I don't think that's any question. Rhea Ripley is now a babyface. This leaves Dominic without a Mamacita. Liv Morgan only used Dominic just to take everything away from Rhea. Makes sense. That's the story. I understand that. But if the plan is for Rhea to regain her championship at SummerSlam, okay. But if she separates from Dom and Dom finds someone new, what a way to introduce Stephanie Baker. One-on-one against Rhea Ripley. Come on now. Who says no? Who says no? And I don't want to hear about this. Well, she's not ready. Well, guess what? All pro wrestlers need is that opportunity. Because at Forbidden Door, she looked ready. So, yeah, give me your thoughts on what you do with Julia and Stephanie Baker in WWE. That unlike the Motor City Machine Guns, is something we know is happening. So absolutely exciting just to see all that news coming in. Yeah, I mean, just a crazy amount of things going on. If people are wondering why I am not on X streaming right now, there were changes made on StreamYard to put on X right now. So I don't know if that's necessarily happening. Yeah, sorry if people aren't being able to see that. But hopefully we'll get that fixed in the future. Yeah, so that's why. I'm kind of just dealing with that as we're going right now. So yeah, pardon me if I don't have all the answers. I did want to update everyone. I also want to make sure everyone is checking out what we have coming up in this week, whether it's on my end, whether it's on Turnbuckle Studios. And let's check out this video showcasing that right now. And that's right. Like, what a lineup. I mean, gonna be a fun week coming up. Make sure you're checking all of that. And just so people are aware of not only what Chris Best is doing when he does his Saturday Night Gaming, it's not always about the Chris Damage Undisputed story. Sometimes, as we saw it last night, he is now playing the new Uncharted game. So go check that out, as it looked very interesting on my end when I was checking that out last night. So yeah, give that a follow, give him some support. Go check that out and go along the ride where he plays, I believe it's the 4th installment of the Uncharted series. I couldn't tell you the name. I don't remember. That's, yeah, no. There's a lot of stuff going on inside this head, and I need room for that monkey to bang his cymbals in that head, and there's no pushing him out. All right. So yeah. But nonetheless, do have a big announcement now that I want to showcase. We do have an interview coming up on the Chris Perish podcast. That's right. In 2 weeks, I will be sitting down with someone, as I recorded an interview just yesterday. It will be showing in 2 weeks' time. So I believe that is the 28th of July. That will make episode 34. As Chris Best is coming in saying it's kind of part of the 4th game, but not really. Why do you got to wreck things by being technical, bro? Putting you over. No, no, I have no idea. I don't get this, the franchise that much, but yeah, what he said, because he knows it a lot better than I do. But yeah, as a lot of people are unaware, I will be inactive in a few weeks, as I will be heading down into the United States for a vacation. So I am preloading a few episodes, a few interviews for everyone, because I don't want to leave you guys empty-handed. I want to make sure you guys have a little something to just get used to, and you just like enjoy. So I've lined up some interviews, and one I am proud to share you today. Next one, I hope to have everything finalized and share with you next week. But who I have coming up right now on episode 34, July 28th, I will be sitting down with an old friend, someone I met through the Cauliflower Alley Club, someone who has gone through the Chicago scene. I believe he's gone through the Phoenix scene, and now just residing, I believe, just in the Portland area or San Francisco. Correct me if I'm wrong. All I know is I geeked over the fact that we're on the same time zone, because I don't know if anybody knows this, but everybody on the Raw shows, on the Raw Patrol there, they're all 2 hours ahead of me. All right. So I always have to do all these amazing things called time change when I'm checking out things. Like, everything has to be on Eastern time zone. And I'm like, I'm not on Eastern time zone. All right. This is weird. It messes me up sometimes. Like, no word of a lie. 1 month ago, talking to my dad, and we're talking about stuff on a Sunday, and he's like, "Oh, yeah, it's going to be at 12:15." I'm like, "Oh, I can't do that. That's I got my podcast." And he's like, "Oh," only to realize, no, that's Easter. You know, I record at 10:15 on my time. It's just, yeah, messes with me, man. But yeah, nonetheless, episode 34, Chris Perish podcast. Proud to introduce to you Sal Eckerath. He is a good friend. He is now a ring announcer. So make sure you're checking that out. An absolutely great man. They're a huge 49ers fan. So if you want to showcase all the Saints love to that episode, I'd appreciate that. But yeah, I will be interviewing Sal, and he's going to take us through the journey. And let me tell you something, this is not going to be a one and done. He will be back for another one. We had so much to talk about. We probably talked a good 30-40 minutes before we even started recording, and then we talked another 30 to 40 minutes after we recorded. So we knew a part 2 had to happen. But in this one, we talk a lot about kind of his story going into it. We touched on his background, which is Palestinian. So make sure you go check that out. Get to know Sal a little bit, and find out what exactly the Pali Prince really is, as he explains that in that episode. And also, we learn in his mind the power of 5 minutes. So make sure you're checking that out, and it's going to be an absolute fun time. And then next week, hopefully for episode 35, I will have another episode or another interview lined up, as I want to do a little bit more of the interview stuff, because I want to help get more people onto the scene and give you guys a little bit of different content as well. So yeah, let me know if there's anybody you want to see me interview or chat up with. And if by chance you want to help me connect with someone to do that, I would be much grateful. You can message me on all my social platforms. You can also message me at Perishute, PERISHUTE @gmail.com. And I would appreciate that, because let's face it, the world needs content, because that's how we live. We don't really watch TV. We just stream things now, right? So that's exactly what I plan on doing. I also mentioned last week that I'm looking at a potential makeover for the Chris Perish podcast, and I can confirm that that is something that I'm going to do. We're at episode 32 right now. It won't be immediate. I'm going to do it at the 1 year mark. So around episode 52, we will see that change. So it's going to be sometime from now, but I did want to give you guys an update on that. But I haven't made any final decisions on what I'm doing, the specifics, the details. So if you want me to stay away from the black and gold color palette, let me know. If there's something you want to see me include, let me know. I want to make this as visually pleasing for everyone, but just be respectful, be courteous, and just know that I'm not going to do anything silly. As much as I want to, I'm going to restrain. So now this is going to be a little bit of a shorter episode, so I just want to make everyone aware how much I thank you for not only your support, how much I appreciate your support, but I would be eternally grateful if you can go and follow the show on YouTube. Hit that notification bell on there. I want to help grow that YouTube page. If you guys can, hit that subscribe on Twitch, and then make sure that you're showing the sharing that on the Facebook. And and then hopefully next week I'll be back on my X, formerly known Twitter account, streaming this show, this podcast, and we can get that all fixed up. So for the time being, I'm going to leave you guys with the quote that I have very much enjoyed over the last few days, and that is, it's something a little bit from Einstein, but in my own words. But one of the biggest mistakes one can do is keep the same mindset in a solution that we had when we created the problem. Absolutely amazing right there. So keep that in mind. I'll see you guys next week. Thank you again. Enjoy your Sunday, and forever, go Saints.